The internet is often seen as an endless archive, a place where memories, friendships, and history are preserved forever. But beneath this illusion lies a vast hidden world, a digital graveyard of social networks and online communities that once flourished, only to vanish completely, taking with them millions of memories and pieces of digital culture. Our journey begins in the early 2000s, a time when the concept of social networking was still new and exciting. Friendster, launched in 2002, was one of the first platforms to connect users through a network of friends and friends of friends. It quickly gained traction, reaching over 115 million users. People shared photos, messages, and created vibrant communities. But behind the scenes, technical problems began to pile up. Slow load times, server crashes, and poor management led to user frustration. By 2011, Friendster was shut down, leaving countless users locked out of their digital pasts. Years of photos, conversations, and relationships were lost, with no way to retrieve them. Friendster's downfall was just the beginning. MySpace, once the uncontested king of social media, soared to fame in the mid-2000s. It revolutionized online interaction with customizable profiles and gave rise to an entire music culture, launching careers of now famous artists. But as Facebook's clean interface and growing user base eclipsed it, MySpace lost relevance. It changed owners multiple times, and during the transition in 2019, a catastrophic data loss occurred. Millions of songs and user-uploaded content disappeared, wiped from the internet forever. For many, MySpace was a digital scrapbook of their youth, now erased. While the West watched these giants rise and fall, other countries had their own platforms. Google's Orkut dominated social media in Brazil and India, amassing over 300 million users. Communities thrived on Orkut's niche features, including scraps, testimonials, and detailed user profiles. But in 2014, Google shut Orkut down abruptly, offering little warning to its loyal users. Entire communities disappeared overnight, along with years of photographs and memories. In Japan, Mixi was the place to be, a social network centered on real identity and community. At its peak, Mixi had over 10 million active users, but it eventually lost ground to global competitors. When it faded, many users lamented the loss of an online home. The Netherlands had Hives, South Korea had Cyworld, each once boasting tens of millions of users. These platforms built vibrant social ecosystems, yet they too shuttered, erasing years of content. Moving into the 2010s, social media's focus shifted to new formats. Vine, launched in 2013, popularized the 6-second looping video. It became a cultural phenomenon, launching viral trends and internet celebrities. But in 2016, Twitter abruptly shut Vine down. Despite petitions and outcry, thousands of videos vanished, along with creators' legacies. Some fans tried to archive Vine videos, but much was lost irretrievably. Yik Yak, an anonymous messaging app, found success among college students. It encouraged free expression, but also became notorious for bullying and harassment. In 2017, faced with mounting criticism, Yik Yak shut down, deleting its entire message history. Users lost countless conversations and community threads. Live streaming also had its casualties. Meerkat, one of the first mobile live streaming apps, launched with buzz but was quickly outpaced by Periscope and Facebook Live. Meerkat quietly folded in 2016, and with it, a trove of live videos disappeared. Some shutdowns were prompted by scandals. Google+, Google's attempt to compete with Facebook, was launched in 2011. Despite huge investments, it never gained the expected traction. In 2018, after a data breach exposed the private data of hundreds of thousands of users, Google decided to shutter the platform in 2019. Millions of posts, photos, and user interactions were deleted in the process, raising serious concerns about user privacy and data security. Other platforms like Peach and Ello promise revolutionary social experiences, but failed to retain users and quietly faded away, taking their unique communities with them. Beyond technical failures, some disappearances hint at more troubling issues. In certain cases, political pressure or corporate strategy may have played a role in removing controversial content or silencing voices. For example, during times of political unrest, social media platforms have been accused of deleting posts or accounts, contributing to permanent loss of digital history. For individual users, the loss of these platforms is deeply personal. People mourn the disappearance of friendships, photos from important life events, and diaries of their personal growth. Online communities were digital homes, places where people found belonging and identity. Losing these spaces means losing part of one's story. Efforts to preserve internet history exist, but they face enormous challenges. The Internet Archive's Wayback Machine attempts to capture snapshots of web pages over time, preserving versions of websites for posterity. But the Wayback Machine cannot capture everything, particularly dynamic content like videos, messages, or social network interactions that require logins or servers to function. Specialized projects try to archive social media posts and user-generated content, but the sheer scale and rapid pace of deletion make it impossible to. As new platforms rise, we must ask, who owns our data? What happens to our memories if the companies that host them disappear? How can we safeguard digital history and culture? These questions become ever more urgent as social media becomes integral to our lives. The internet may feel infinite, but it is fragile. The digital graveyard beneath the surface reminds us that not everything lasts forever. Millions of lives once lived online are now echoes in lost networks and deleted posts. In a world obsessed with the latest trends and technologies, the greatest stories sometimes lie in what has been lost. A cautionary tale about memory, identity, and the impermanence of the digital age.